She's a gym. I didn't know her, but All-Star Weekend, we kind of bantered back and forth a little bit. And she's lovely. She has a lot of pressure on her shoulders.
At the outset, let me tell you about a moment of light banter that set the tone for what was to come. It began rather unassumingly with a remark about someone who frequents the gym, a person about whom I must confess I never really knew in depth. Over the past weekends, however, there had been a subtle exchange of friendly banter, a playful back and forth that hinted at a deeper story beneath the surface. While I had only encountered a few fleeting interactions, it became clear that this individual was far more than just a familiar face in the gym. She carried with her a quiet resilience, a strength born from facing immense pressure and expectations, something that, as it turns out, is a recurring theme in our sport. In many ways, the challenges we see on the court mirror those that our everyday heroes face off it. Much like the person at the gym who bears the weight of unseen pressures, many players in our league confront criticism, misunderstanding, and relentless scrutiny. There are always those who have opinions about what others should be doing, even when they haven't lived through the same experiences.
And I think a lot of people always have a lot to say with people they don't even know or shoes they've never been in. And for me, I think she's handling the pressure very well. She's doing a lot of great things for.
This notion that people are quick to judge without truly understanding the burdens others bear sets the stage for our discussion on the contrasting personalities that have recently come into the spotlight. One of the most compelling stories emerging from the latest season is that of Sophie Cunningham. Known for her dynamic shooting, her impressive defensive skills, and an innate ability to elevate the game of those around her, Sophie has long been admired not only for her athletic prowess, but also for her unwavering commitment to teamwork. Her on-court performance is one thing, but it is her off-court leadership that truly sets her apart. For years, Sophie had nurtured a deep admiration for fellow standout, Caitlin Clark, a player celebrated for her sharp shooting and incredible court vision. In numerous interviews and casual interactions, Sophie was always candid about her desire to eventually join forces with Caitlin, to combine their talents and create something spectacular for the team. And now, that long-cherished dream has finally come to fruition. With Sophie's official move to join the Indiana Fever, a palpable sense of excitement has swept through both the locker room and the fan base alike. This isn't just a strategic acquisition, it's a turning point. Sophie's arrival heralds a new era for the team, one built on respect, unity, and a shared vision for success. Her ability to connect with her teammates, her willingness to embrace a team-first mentality, and her undying passion for the game are qualities that any championship contender would covet. With Sophie now by Caitlin's side, the chemistry on the court is already showing signs of something truly special. It's not just about the three-point shooting or the swift transitions. It's about the way in which Sophie brings a sense of calm determination, a leadership that inspires those around her to elevate their game. In stark contrast to the positive influence of Sophie Cunningham stands the case of Nalyssa Smith.
Is a good player. She can shoot the three. She can 3-and-D it. She's pretty good on defense. She's fast. I think the Fever are looking for the fast pace.
And I'm a fan. I would love to play with her one day.
For a long time, Nelissa had been a source of both controversy and consternation. Her time with the Indiana Fever had been marred by locker room chaos, on-court discord, and a string of incidents that painted her as a disruptive force rather than a constructive team member. Observers noted that despite her undeniable talent, there was a recurring pattern in her behavior, a toxic attitude that slowly but surely began to erode the team's morale. It wasn't merely about performance metrics or game statistics. It was about the intangible energy that a player brings to the team. Nalyssa's inability to set aside personal differences and her reluctance to defend her teammates, particularly in moments when unity was most needed, eventually became a liability. Fans, former teammates, and even management noted that her presence on the court did nothing to uplift the team's spirit. Instead, it created an environment of tension and uncertainty, an atmosphere where trust was hard to come by, and where negativity seemed to overshadow potential. The breaking point came when Nalyssa's toxic behavior, which had long been tolerated to some degree, finally reached a level where it could no longer be ignored. After a series of on-court incidents that culminated in a public display of disrespect, the decision was made to part ways with her. The trade was not just a roster move. It was a clear signal that the organization was no longer willing to compromise on the values of teamwork and respect. By removing Nalyssa, the Fever sought to restore harmony and set the stage for a future built on positive energy and mutual support.
Folks, we are free from Nalyssa Smith, Nalyssa Smith, no longer on the Indiana.
This transformation in the Fever's approach is emblematic of a broader trend in the league, a move away from individual heroics and toward a more holistic, team-oriented style of play. It's a philosophy that resonates with both players and fans alike. In an era when social media often amplifies the smallest disagreements into full-blown controversies, the emphasis on unity and mutual respect is a refreshing change. By focusing on what truly matters, playing great basketball and supporting one another, the Fever are setting an example that many teams would do well to follow. Of course, no major change comes without its share of controversy and debate. When Nalyssa Smith's toxic behavior became public, it ignited a firestorm of criticism from every corner. Social media platforms were abuzz with discussions about her attitude, her on-court performance, and the impact she was having on the team. Many fans were quick to voice their displeasure, not only with her actions, but with the perceived lack of accountability. Critics pointed out that her behavior, whether on social media or during live games, was symptomatic of a deeper issue, an inability to handle pressure, and a refusal to integrate into the team's culture. It wasn't just fans who were critical. Even former players and analysts noted that Nalyssa's reluctance to defend her teammates, particularly when it came to protecting the reputation of someone as beloved as Caitlin Clark, was unacceptable. The sentiment was clear. In a team sport like basketball, unity and mutual support are paramount.
Fever Kelly Crosskoff came in and said, "Oh, you gotta go."
Physicality and all that they're going to get used to, but I think especially Caitlin Clark, she's been killing it.
When a player's actions undermine that unity, it isn't just a personal failing, it's a detriment to the entire organization. Unfolded, the reaction from our YouTube channel community was one of mixed emotions. While many were elated by the arrival of Sophie Cunningham and the prospect of renewed team chemistry, others couldn't help but feel that the situation was emblematic of a larger issue within the league. There were heated debates about whether the focus on star power and social media antics had overshadowed the true essence of basketball teamwork, resilience, and a shared love for the game. What has become clear through all of these developments is that the landscape of women's basketball is evolving rapidly. In today's game, talent is only one piece of the puzzle. The ability to adapt, to support one another, and to rise above personal differences is what ultimately defines a championship team. The recent changes within the Indiana Fever serve as a microcosm of this broader evolution. For years, critics have argued that the league has allowed too much off-court drama to seep into the game. They contend that players sometimes prioritize personal agendas or social media clout over the collective goal of winning. While there is some truth to these concerns, the recent moves by the Fever illustrate that progress is possible. By choosing to invest in players who not only bring skill, but also a positive, constructive attitude, the organization is making a statement about what it values most. This shift in focus is also reflective of a growing recognition that sports are about more than just numbers. They are about creating a community, about building relationships that extend beyond the court. When players like Sophie Cunningham join the team, they aren't just adding points to a scoreboard, they are contributing to a culture of excellence, respect, and camaraderie. And that is something that resonates with fans on a deeply personal level. With the arrival of Sophie Cunningham and the subsequent departure of Nalyssa Smith, the Indiana Fever are stepping into a new era. This isn't just about making a few roster changes, it's about fundamentally rethinking what the team stands for. The message is loud and clear.
And I'm a huge fan, and I never say that, but I think it's fun what she's doing. When it comes to viewership, man, I think a lot of people have a lot to learn about our league, but I think that's a really fun thing. And
the Fever are done with mediocrity, and they are committed to building a team that embodies the principles of hard work, respect, and unity. Part of this transformation can be attributed to the leadership within the organization. Under the guidance of the management and coaching staff, the team has undergone a period of introspection, leading to a series of strategic moves that have redefined its identity. The decision to sign veteran players who bring championship experience, such as De'Nana Bonner and Natasha Howard, reflects a calculated effort to blend youthful energy with seasoned expertise.
if you have really anything negative to say about all the viewership and everything that this rookie class is doing, I just think that you're not capitalizing on it and you might be a little jealous. So for me, I'm all for it.
These moves have not only improved the on-court performance, but have also fostered an environment where every player understands the importance of supporting one another. The impact of these changes is already evident. The locker room atmosphere has shifted from one of uncertainty to one of shared purpose. Players are now more willing to push each other to be better.